This is a production from First World War. Autumn 1917. The rain never stops. Mud swallows men whole. The Ypres Salient is a graveyard of broken bodies and haunted souls. For 3 years, this shattered landscape of northern France has witnessed a horror beyond imagining. And now, another offensive is being prepared. This time the objective is Passendale, a village 8 kilometers from here. 8 kilometers of shattered landscape and barbed wire. The British High Command believes that with one final push, they can capture the vital German-held high ground overlooking the Yser. But the Germans have dug in. And so once again, thousands of young men will be sent to their deaths. Amid the chaos, Julien Van Acker clings to survival. A young Flemish conscript, fluent in both Flemish and German, he finds himself pushed forward with his beleaguered platoon into the hellscape of no man's land. In the distance, the Germans open fire. Soon, the air is thick with the stench of cordite and the cries of the dying. One by one, his comrades fall, until finally it is just Julien and his sergeant. Together, they drag themselves into a shell-shattered trench, collapsing onto the muddy floor. It's then that Julien notices the sergeant's face. It's pale and drawn, devoid of any emotion. He looks, Julien thinks, like a dead man. Then the sergeant produces a revolver. "There's only one way out of this," he says, pointing the gun at Julien. "For Flanders, for Belgium, for King Albert." With that, he shoots himself. Wounded and traumatized, Julien presses on, driven by instinct and adrenaline. Through the driving rain, he sees a line of German soldiers ahead and raises his rifle. But then he hesitates. Surely they speak his language, these Germans. He takes a step back. Just then, a German field medic, Friedrich Adler, spots him and calls out in Flemish, "Hold your fire. Don't shoot, I'm a medic." As the other Germans close in, Friedrich steps forward. Kneeling, he offers Julien water and helps him bandage his head wound. Then he does something that Julien never expects. He handcuffs him and leads him away. As the battle for Passendale rages around them, Friedrich brings Julien to a collapsed dugout, hiding him beneath some sacks of potatoes. "Why didn't you kill me?" asks Julien. Says Friedrich. "I don't believe in this war anymore. Not since the Russians massacred my friends in East Prussia. I've seen enough death. There'll be no more war for me." Over the next few days, Friedrich nurses Julien back to health, sharing his meager rations and helping him clean his wounds. Meanwhile, overhead, the battle rages. Men fight and die for king and country, oblivious to the humanity that flickers beneath the wire. Then one night, a British flare illuminates the sky. Suddenly, the Germans are closing in, led by a stern young officer. "Adler," he barks. "What's the meaning of this?" Friedrich stands up, his face pale. "It's nothing, Colonel," he says. "Just some wounded." But the colonel is not convinced. He searches the dugout and finds the hidden supplies. Then he turns to Friedrich, his face dark with anger. "You know the penalty for aiding the enemy?" Friedrich looks down. "I know," he says. As dawn breaks, the column moves out again. Friedrich walks beside the young officer, his head bent. As they pass through a group of recently dug graves, he straightens up and protests. "These men are dead." "Why do you want to bury them?" "Because it's the decent thing to do," says the officer. "A soldier fights best when he's fighting for something, not for nothing." Friedrich shakes his head, unable to comprehend the young man's idealism. "We're all worms," he says. "Our fathers fought for this land a century ago. Now we're killing each other for it. What is this but folly, madness?" The young officer lays a hand on his arm. "Don't speak so bleakly, old man. We're winning. You'll see." He pauses, his face troubled. Though God knows what it's worth. That night, as a heavy bombardment rocks the front line, Julien wakes up in the dugout. Friedrich is kneeling beside him, holding his hand. "You're awake," says Friedrich. "The fever's gone. You'll live." He looks tired, older than his years. "Where am I?" asks Julien. "In a hospital," says Friedrich. "You were found wandering through no man's land. I sent word to the headquarters that you were badly wounded, hoping that they would take you off to England. But apparently it wasn't enough." He looks down at his hands. "I'm sorry, I couldn't get you into neutral Switzerland. There isn't much choice around here. You can't go left. That's England. You can't go right. That's Germany. Straight ahead is France. Or maybe you could try Holland if you're quick." Friedrich trails off, embarrassed. Julien sits up, wincing. "How long have I been here?" 3 weeks. says Friedrich. Your fever broke after a week.
After that.
You were fine, but you slept for 2 weeks more. There's a pause. Then Julien says, I feel stronger now, though my head still hurts a little. Could you help me up? As they talk, they both know that this can't last. At any moment, Friedrich's facade might crumble, and he'd be dragged away, accused of treason or cowardice. Or perhaps the wounded prisoners he tends to would reveal his secret. Even worse, perhaps Julien would simply grow too strong and try to escape, dragging Friedrich down with him. One evening, as the wind whips across the barren landscape, Friedrich and Julien sit together in silence, wrapped in greatcoats against the cold. Above them, a pair of Allied planes bank and turn, diving towards the earth. Friedrich watches them go. Look at that, he says. A toy battle. Those men are toys. Julien nods, understanding the medic's weariness. It's madness, he whispers, the word catching in the wind. The following day, as the rain pours down in torrents, Friedrich goes to check on his stock of medicines. Julien is alone in the dugout. Looking out into the driving rain, he sees a German patrol nearby. An idea comes to him. He approaches the patrol and calls out in German, Halt! Halt, I said. The patrol turns, startled. Julien pulls out his pistol and fires 3 shots into the air. The Germans drop to their knees. Don't shoot, says Julien, raising his hands. I surrender. The young officer steps forward, his face pale. What's the meaning of this, Private? Julien smiles. Yes, I think, he says. It's time to leave. He runs into the rain, dodging the bullets that whip around him. He reaches a clump of trees at the edge of the field and hides there, breathing heavily. Glancing back, he sees the Germans rounding up the patrol. Moments later, Friedrich appears at the edge of the wood, calling out, Julien, where are you? Spotting him, Friedrich runs forward and helps him up. You shouldn't have done that, he says, his voice shaking. I'll find you. They'll accuse me of helping you escape. He pauses, his eyes searching the wood. Where can we go now? Spotting a gap in the trees, Friedrich leads the way. Soon they come to a small stream gurgling over stones. On the far bank, they see a cluster of houses deserted, their windows blown out. As they cross the stream, the sound of machine guns rips through the air. A moment later, a German staff car screeches to a halt beside them. 2 officers jump out, their faces grim. Adler says the younger one, We received a report that you were harboring an escaped prisoner. Where is he? Friedrich shakes his head. I swear to you, I don't know what you're talking about. But the older officer is not convinced. Come with us to headquarters. We'll sort this out. He turns to the other officer. Take that shovel, he says. We'll need to dig. With that, he lays a hand on Friedrich's arm and steers him towards the waiting car. All the while, Friedrich keeps glancing back at Julien, who stands frozen in the middle of the stream, watching them go. So ends episode 2 of Mud and Iron, written by Jack Hiscock, directed by John M. Butler. Thanks for watching. You can watch the first episode on our channel. Coming soon, episode 3.